you go. There you go. It's recording already. I wanted to ask you what do you think towards how the meat industry is coming by due to all of these lab produces, anything that's slowing all this market down in general? Because what I've seen so far, it's messing up agriculture day by day. It's turning most of us down, and I mean, we got to find a way out of it too.
Yeah, it's honestly a subject that I never really thought was going to be a subject of conversation. When I saw the first lab grown meat, which was fish, came into existence, I thought surely no one's going to jump on this. There's no way. And I've been proven wrong that this actually is starting to gain a little traction. That's scary in the agriculture industry because you're replacing a animal that God has created. And they say it's a more sustainable way of meat supply, but it takes 2 to 3 months for this substance to get in an incubator essentially and grow. The ingredient list is a mile long. And when you look at the ingredients of beef, it's beef. You look at ingredients of lab grown beef, you have all these words that you can't pronounce. And I think it's a little ironic. We're in a day and age that people are wanting this more holistic, clean eating. Everyone's starting to look at the dyes and ingredients on the back of their packages, but yet they're supporting a lab grown petri dish substance. And if you actually look at the ingredient list, and the messaging behind the suppliers of some of these ingredients, one of them is a fungus that is deviated from mushrooms, and the way they grow those is through fecal matter. And the company statement on their website says an alternate or the new solution to your beef production. And in their mission statement, it specifically lays out why they want to eradicate beef production from the planet. And that's where we have concerns with. A lot of people are removed so far from agriculture, they actually don't know how their beef is produced. And a lot of trendy words and buzzwords are being used on labels and packaging. And unfortunately, it falls on the responsibility of us to fight the masses and fight against the propaganda of what anti-agriculturalists or activist groups are speaking out against. And so I think an educated consumer makes better educated decisions in their food. However, it's really hard when the media is pushing so hard against beef production. And what does hormone-free actually mean? What does antibiotic-free actually mean? Are implants bad? No, they're not. Okay, well, how are they not? And you have to go through the whole process of, hey, your spoonful of peanut butter has more hormones in it than the steak on your plate. And that's a hard concept for people to understand. So I think now more than ever is our time as agriculturalists and people who are in the industry or even somehow related to the industry to help educate those who may not understand. Because with this meat or this substance that's being developed by these companies, who also, by the way, have a very large shareholding in pharmaceutical companies. And I think that's a really good way to keep people sick, is to feed them things that are going to keep them sick. It's an important thing for us to talk about, right? And it's just now more than ever, we really gotta we have to go in and educate these people. And unfortunately, it's hard to bring an educative aspect to a idea or philosophy that's very emotionally driven.
That's pretty good. Well, and now you explain that with how some people will tend to go to the other side with not trying to pay attention to it, some things, or just completely avoid it just because of the name of it has. what would you like try and how would you try and reach out for people? Like as of a video or something, a website, something that will guide them. Like what would you in generally like try and use?
To help educate.
Yeah.
So, I hope people utilize social media. Unfortunately and fortunately, it's a two-edged sword. The good side of social media is that we can reach people that we probably would never have met or talked to. One video, hopefully a minute and a half, 2 minute long video, will hit more people than I could ever talk to in a day, right? If a video gets 5 or even 10,000 views, that's 5 or 10,000 people that I probably would never have had a conversation with. That's the good part. The hard part on that is retention. People don't always have the attention span to listen to a video. They don't have the attention span to absorb what's being said. A lot of times you can have a very well educated, very informative video, but if the catch or if the hook isn't quite right, or uh, TikTok or Instagram, whatever, just doesn't push your video that day. I've spent hours putting together videos, making sure all the data is correct, all the numbers are correct for it to get 1,500 views. But I do an outfit of the day video for a clothing company and it gets 20,000 views. It's hard to maintain consistency. That's the hard part. Now, the good part in having conversations with people face to face is you can have that in-depth conversation. You can see people's faces. You can see the emotion. You can tap into what, and of course, me in a sales type of role, consultative role, right? I'm selling people on ideas, selling people on philosophies on how to better their operations. You can have those conversations with people and you can pull up information, you can show them, talk to them, but getting people to actually have those conversations, that's the negative side, is that it's very difficult it's easy to type a mean comment or a negative comment in a comment area, right? It's easy to
Yeah.
do that. Actually having a conversation, not so easy. So it's social media has been probably the most impactful way. I've had a passion for education of agriculture and advocacy my entire life, but I don't think I've reached as many people as I have through the social media, which I never thought I'd say that. But I've got people that will just randomly come up to me at conventions or trade shows and say they see my videos, and it blows me away every time because I'm a very small account to a lot of other people out there. But and then the fact that my video made an impact on somebody else's life, that makes my day. That's what keeps me going. So I would say probably the videos, because that's just the trend. That's what people do. That people don't read anymore. If you can get a video that maintains attention, that would be it.
I just had to ask one final question for you. Would be mainly how for all the plantologists, all the people who are in agriculture for the seed farms. How do you see that? How is it going so far? Especially how lots of places are being industrialized a lot more, and it's taking those lands, and those lands. I mean, that's money for all crop farmers. That's life in general, and that's the food that had everybody, not just us, had everybody kept up pretty good because there ain't nothing bad about them.
Yeah, that's losing our natural resources in terms of land is scary. The amount of land that we're losing to urbanization. And I wouldn't have a problem with that if all urbanization developments were being fully utilized, but it's not. There's a lot of abandoned complexes and parts of cities and towns that just get left alone. And if we're repurposing those, I think that we conserve our land a lot better than what we're doing right now. It's also taxes. There's a lot of governmental push to buy more land for industrialization. It is scary. And the other scary part is our natural resources are going along with it. If you throw concrete on top of an aquifer or on top of wells, you can't tap back into that. You can do a lot of different things with a field. You can grow crops on it, you grow hay on it, you can irrigate it, you can throw cattle on it, sheep, horses, whatever. But as soon as you throw a concrete slab on top of it, there's very minimal uses that you can do in terms of food production. And what people don't understand is that without that natural resource, we're not going to be able to produce food. We're already seeing it right now with low cattle numbers, as we're starting to import a lot more foreign beef because not only the packers not willing to pay above a certain price for cattle, but also consumers. Consumers are complaining now more than ever about how much food is costing them. They think it's bad now. See it when inflation hits an all-time high, see it when the economy takes a hit, see it when we're going to have to import because we got rid of all of our natural resources. China imports almost all of their food. And the US right now has one of the lowest percentage of your income is being spent on food, one of the lowest in the entire world. The Philippines, the percentage that they spend on their income they spend on food is 68%. Americans couldn't fathom that. We're at like 16%. So it's a very scary thing that I think that a lot of people who are in the urban areas are not realizing. That you can't make more of God's country. You can't. And so we got to take care of it and nurture it and make sure we protect it as much as we can. And that's for row crop farming, that's for pivots, that's for hay production, that's for all of agriculture.
Yep, that's pretty much what rounds up almost everything in general. And
Yeah.
I appreciate your time talking.
Of course.
And helping me advocate for the thing that has everybody connected, agriculture. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, not a problem. Happy to help.
All right.